The Jacobs family road trip ended in Eastfeld, a quaint town with an old-world charm. The last leg of their journey had led them to this quaint town, where time seemed to have stood still. The Jacobs, a family brimming with curiosity and an adventurous spirit, were immediately drawn in by the town's antiquity. Clara, the family's youngest and most adventurous member, was captivated by the sight of a worn-out poster advertising a garage sale. The lure of the unknown, of treasures and trinkets steeped in history, was too much to resist. So they followed the winding roads leading to the estate sale, hosted by a recently bereaved son, his parents' belongings spread out like pieces of a life frozen in time. Among the sundry items, a peculiar mirror caught Clara's eye. It was an intriguing piece, its reflective surface hidden beneath a shroud of brown paper. The frame, ornate and beautifully crafted, held an inexplicable allure. Clara, drawn to the mirror, managed to negotiate a purchase. The son, perhaps eager to let go of the past or simply indifferent to the value of the mirror, readily agreed. In the comfort of their home, Clara found a spot for the mirror in the living room. The rest of the family, exhausted from the long drive and Clara's impromptu shopping expedition, barely took notice of the new addition. However, even in their wearied state, they couldn't completely shake off a faint sense of unease that seemed to linger in the air. As Clara removed the brown paper, revealing the mirror's glass, a chill ran down her spine. The room, once filled with the warmth of their family bonds, now felt slightly colder, slightly darker. The mirror, now unveiled, seemed to be more than just an object of vanity. It exuded an ominous aura, a silent whisper of the darkness that was about to unfold. Back at their home, Clara hung the mirror in the living room, oblivious to the ominous aura it exuded. The Jacobs family, blissfully ignorant of what they had brought into their home, settled in for the night, unaware of the chilling adventures that lay ahead. As Clara unveiled the mirror, a dark energy permeated the house. An ominous aura seeped into every corner, every crevice, wrapping its chilly fingers around the heart of the Jacobs home. That very night, the first of many oddities began to take root. Clara, the adventurous spirit who had brought the mirror home, found herself the first to be ensnared by its spectral grasp. Under the cloak of darkness, she moved through the house, her eyes glazed over in a sleep-induced fog. She drifted aimlessly through the kitchen, her actions not her own, her body seemingly controlled by an unseen force. When morning came and Clara was asked about her nocturnal wanderings, she looked puzzled, claiming no memory of the strange escapade. But Clara's sleepwalking was just the beginning. The Jacobs parents too found themselves victims of the mirror's eerie influence. As they passed by the ornate frame, their reflections seemed to shift subtly. Their images, once familiar and comforting, were now tainted with unsettling alterations that defied logic. Their eyes, their smiles, their very expressions seemed twisted, distorted, almost as if they were no longer looking at themselves but at some distorted alien version. And so the house began to change. No longer the warm, welcoming refuge it had once been, it was now a breeding ground for the inexplicable and the terrifying. Unearthly noises echoed through the halls, the chilling soundtrack of an unseen horror. Doppelgangers of the family began to appear, their features twisted in the mirror's reflection. The once pristine surfaces were marred by unexplained scratches, as if the house itself was bearing the brunt of the mirror's wrath. The family was caught in the thrall of a growing unease, a sense of dread that hung heavy in the air. The mirror, once a mere decorative piece, was now the epicenter of this unfolding darkness. Its ornate frame held a sinister secret, its reflective surface a portal to a realm of horror. The house was transforming into a breeding ground for malevolence, with the mirror at its heart. Determined to solve the mystery, Daryl found himself drawn to the mirror one late night. The house, bathed in the eerie glow of the moon, was shrouded in an ominous silence. A chill ran down his spine as he stepped into the living room, his gaze locked on the mirror. The ornate frame, once a charming antique, now seemed to sneer at him, a malevolent entity hiding in plain sight. As he approached, his reflection in the mirror began to twist and contort, morphing into a grotesque caricature of his own image. The corners of his reflected mouth stretched into an inhuman grin, sending a jolt of terror through him. His heart pounded in his chest like a drum, every beat echoing the growing dread within him. Then, the mirror began to ripple, like the surface of a disturbed pond. From the depths of the glass, a dark, shadowy figure emerged. It was Daryl, or at least, a monstrous version of him. The figure reached out, its hand pressing against the inside of the mirror, the glass bulging under the pressure. Daryl recoiled in horror, the reality of the situation sinking in. It wasn't just a mirror, it was a portal, a bridge between realities. And trapped within this alternate reality was a malevolent force, a curse that manifested through distorted reflections. It was a curse that had latched onto the Jacobs family, transforming their home into a breeding ground for evil. The revelation sent a wave of dread washing over him. He was no longer just a father. He was a man locked in a battle with an unseen enemy, an enemy that had infiltrated his home, threatening his family. The fear that had been building within the Jacobs family was now replaced by a chilling certainty. They were living in the shadow of a curse that was growing stronger with each passing day. He retreated from the room, his mind reeling from the chilling encounter. The mirror, now revealed for what it truly was, continued to leer at him from the darkness. It wasn't just a mirror, it was a gateway to a realm beyond, a curse that manifested through distorted reflections. United by fear and determination, the family decided to confront the malevolent entities spawned from the mirror. Their hearts pounded like war drums in the silence. The air was thick with anticipation, the room shrouded in an unnatural darkness. The mirror, once an inconspicuous addition to their home, now stood as a monstrous monolith of terror. In the mirror's reflective surface they saw their doppelgangers, grotesque caricatures of themselves, twisted and malformed. Their eyes, once familiar, now glowed with a menacing light, an unholy fire that sent chills down their spines. The mirror had become a battleground, a place where reality and the surreal collided in a horrifying spectacle. Bracing themselves, the Jacobs family stepped forward. They locked eyes with their distorted reflections, their hearts resonating with a shared resolve. And then, the room exploded into chaos. An unseen force seized them, a powerful gust of wind that sent them sprawling. The doppelgangers advanced, their movements predatory, their grins revealing a malevolent delight. Clara, the adventurous spirit, was the first to rise, defiance sparkling in her eyes. She lunged at her doppelganger, their bodies colliding in a clash of wills. The rest of the family followed suit, their fear replaced with a fierce determination to reclaim their home. But the malevolent entities were far stronger than they anticipated. The family's struggle was futile against the overwhelming power of the mirror's curse. The room spun, reality warping around them. In a surreal twist, they found themselves being pulled towards the mirror, the reflective surface rippling like water. Their screams echoed in the room, a chilling symphony of terror as they reached out to each other, their hands slipping away in the tumultuous pull of the mirror's abyss. And then, silence. The struggle ceased, the mirror's surface stilled, returning to its reflective calm. The family was gone, swallowed by the mirror, their desperate cries echoing in the emptiness of their home. In a horrifying twist, they found themselves dragged into the mirror's abyss. Their home, their sanctuary, had become their prison. The mirror their captor. The Jacobs family, united in fear and determination, were now united in their shared curse. The Jacobs home, now foreclosed, stood as a haunting monument to the malevolent mirror. This once vibrant abode, filled with the echoes of laughter and warmth, was now an eerie shell, its life force sucked away by the cursed artifact. As the seasons changed, so did the fate of the deserted house. An estate sale was called upon, much like the one that had marked the beginning of the Jacobs ordeal. Among the dusty relics of a life once lived, the mirror, its malevolent gleam hidden under a harmless guise, awaited its next prey. Another unsuspecting family, drawn by the allure of antique charm, found themselves at the estate sale. They were oblivious to the dark energy that lurked within the ornate frame of the mirror. A transaction was made, sealing their fate. The mirror, with its silent, insidious grin, was taken to another home, ready to unleash its curse anew. Meanwhile, within the mirror's abyss, the Jacobs found themselves trapped in a spectral existence. Their physical forms were lost, but their essence lingered, trapped within the glass. Their every day was a nightmarish replay of their struggle, a chilling reminder of the curse they had unwittingly invited into their home. They watched through the mirror as the new family hung it up in their home, blissfully unaware of the horror that awaited them. The Jacobs, now spectral guardians of the mirror, could do nothing but watch as the cycle of horror was set to repeat itself. The mirror, an entity of pure malevolence, continued its reign of terror, bridging realities and ensnaring families in a perpetual loop of horror. The Jacobs, lost within the mirror's depths, became spectral guardians, a grim reminder of the curse that lurked behind the ornate frame, patiently awaiting its next victims in the shadows of Eastfeld. So, what if the mirror you look into every day holds a similar curse? What if you're next?